What's going on, guys? So I got a lot of people that ask me why hosting your site on Webflow is a bit more expensive than hosting in other places. And so today we're going to talk about why that is and whether or not it's worth it for you to host on Webflow. Let's get started. What's going on, guys? Payton Smith here, and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your Webflow design business and build more websites for more clients, then make sure to click below to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Now, today we're going to be talking about hosting your website with Webflow. Now, I've hosted a lot of different websites on a lot of different hosting platforms, from Bluehost to Wix to Webflow. And all of these different hosting platforms have kind of different prices and different things that they include in their hosting fees. But the one that I want to talk about specifically today is Webflow. Because I am hosting so many sites with Webflow, I get asked a lot from both clients and other designers, why is it more expensive, and is it worth it, and is there a way that I can get it for cheaper? And so I want to cover a couple of these things. But the first thing that you need to understand is that from my perspective and my opinion is you get every bit of the value that you're spending on that monthly hosting. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things that Webflow does and includes in their hosting to make that worth it for you. But the first thing I want to do is tell you a story. I had a friend that is a web developer, funny enough, and he builds apps. And so he didn't want to take the time to code his own website. And so he asked me if I could maybe even just download a template from Webflow and make a couple tweaks, add his information. And then what he was going to do is he was going to have me export that code, and then he was going to find a way to host it on his own through like Amazon or something. And he had found a way to host for like a couple cents a month. And so it was going to be like dirt cheap, like literally nothing. And he was really excited about the money that he was going to get to save doing this versus hosting with Webflow and having to pay, $15 a month or whatever. And so we finished up the template. I exported the code for him, and a week later reached back out to me and said, I need to make a couple changes to this Webflow site. And I basically had to say, tough luck, I'm not going to dive into the code and do that for you. While I could, that's just not a service that I offer, and it ends up being way more work than it's worth. And so for the couple bucks that he saved every month, he quickly realized that keeping your site in Webflow, that really the biggest benefit is you can actually work on that site in Webflow. You can make changes, you can update your design, you can do so many things just by keeping your site in Webflow. So I would say that is the biggest benefit that I've found to just hosting with Webflow and letting Webflow handle all of that. Now, aside from that, if you're handing this website off to clients, which is what I'm doing in my business, I don't want to have to go back and make all of those changes manually every time they need an update or every time they have a new blog post. And so another big benefit is you have your CMS and editor dashboard. So what you can do is you can build the website out with CMS structure, you hand it off to them, and then you say, okay, here's your dashboard. You click on this link and you're able to get in there and add blog posts and delete blog posts and update pictures and literally do everything that you need to do on a very simplified dashboard, which I love, because then rather than waking up every morning to 10 calls from clients saying, hey, I want to change a picture, or I need to update the text on my website, they're able to do all of that on their own. And so that's another huge benefit of hosting with Webflow is you have access to that editor dashboard that you yourself can use, or you can pass off to your client or to whoever you want to manage your client's website. Maybe you have like a dedicated your website person that updates all of your clients' websites. They can also have access to that CMS editor, and that's going to make your life so much easier. And so what I would say is if you're trying to sell your clients on Webflow hosting, let them know that that's something extra that you're getting in that hosting that makes it worth their money. Because sure, maybe they don't want to spend $20 a month on their hosting, but it's going to get a lot more expensive when every month they want to make an update. They're going to have to pay a web designer $50 to $200 to make those changes, and it's just not worth it to them. And it's not worth it to save a couple bucks on hosting just to cause a bunch of other problems. And so I would say that is the second biggest benefit that comes with hosting with Webflow. Now, aside from having complete control and access and the ability to change your website, Webflow also has a lot of features that you would expect from a hosting company, but that a lot don't deliver on. And one of those is you're gonna have the best security. You have free SSL security, and so you're gonna have the little lock up on the top of your website, which builds trust for your site visitors. It also helps a lot for SEO. The other thing that you're gonna get is fast page load times, which is a huge benefit when you're looking at your conversions, when you're looking at your search ranking, and just the overall experience that site visitors are going to have. I truly believe that Webflow has really the best hosting for that, and it provides the best experience for people. The last thing that I would say is Webflow hosting is really reliable, and so your sites are never going to go down. You're never going to be getting calls from clients that say, hey, my site's not working or it's gone down and you need to figure this out. And then at that point, you just become basically a tech support guy, which is not what I want to do with my time. And so I love being able to hand that off to Webflow and saying, make sure these sites stay up, make sure they're secure, make sure they load fast, make sure that my client can update them and manage them. And right there, you've literally handed off all of the busy work that comes with a new website, and you're passing that off and saying, I'm going to focus on what's most profitable for my business. And also, it's going to allow your clients to focus on what's most profitable for their businesses rather than having to hassle with all these things. Now, one last thing that I feel obligated to mention, because I feel like I am maybe even more of an SEO guy than I am a web design guy, is I have found a lot of success with SEO in Webflow and with Webflow sites. And with that being said, I think a lot of that can be attributed to the reliable hosting. Again, your fast page loads, your security, all of these different things. And what I've seen is other website builders like Wix or Squarespace. I think it's a lot harder to rank a website when you build a site and host them in those platforms. And so I would say do everything in Webflow. Build your site, host with Webflow. That couple extra bucks a month is not going to make a big difference for you. It shouldn't make a big difference for your client, but it really is going to set you up to have the most success possible with your new website. So I guess the moral of all this is, yes, Webflow is a little bit more expensive. You're going to be looking at about $15 per month without CMS capabilities, and $20 per month with those CMS capabilities and the editor dashboard and all those different things. Yes, you can get a discount if you pay a year in full, but at the end of the day, it's going to be maybe a couple extra bucks per month, and you're going to be getting so much more, and you're going to be making your business run so much more smoothly if you just do everything with Webflow and allow them to handle those technical things so you can push forward and do what you do best, which is building websites and getting great results for your clients. So that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. If you found any other great hosting sites that can host your website for cheaper and do just as good of a job as Webflow, I'd be happy to know about that. So make sure you comment that down below as well. I'm happy to answer any questions, and we will talk to you in the next video.